home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell's hooked it clear quite literally away from the score, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line. Pickford made a real hash of things. Goalless at Wembley. It's England 0, Greece now at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line. Still goalless at Wembley. England 0, Greece now at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in. Half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Mavropanos only scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Mavropanos only scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Mavropanos only scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Mavropanos only scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Mavropanos only scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Mavropanos only scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell building than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Mavropanos only scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside when he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Is at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanas he scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. It's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was offside, but he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside, but he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside, and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out the keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's gone close. Crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside, and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside, and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside, and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's got field header from a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored. Mavropanos was flagged offside, but he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came in, but Colwell hooked it clear quite literally away from the goal. Half the ball was in, half the ball wasn't, and he bailed out his keeper. From that chance, Manrapanathan scored. Gordon's gone close with a crossfield header, a Trent Alexander-Arnold cross, but it's still goalless at Wembley. Time it's England 0, Greece 0 at Wembley. Chances at both ends of the pitch. Greece actually scored, but disallowing Mavropanos was flagged offside, and he headed home. Colwell Belding than that when he cleared off the line when Pickford made a real hash of things and a shot came.
And the Greeks will look to defend as Saka comes down the right-hand side, running at genuinely
This twisting turn, trying to get inside, rolls it inside towards Alexander-Arnold. Back heel from him, looking for Foden. It's just not going to reach. Greece cover and actually have the ability to keep the ball in play, but they've not realised that Alexander-Arnold's come back here. Terrible defending from Greece. So lazy to start the second half, but Liverpool defender actually going backwards and resetting rather than starting another attack. As here's Lewis, about 10 yards away from the centre circle. Into Palmer. Palmer could have played it into Foden, but decided not to take the risk. There's no width about England's defence. There's only two centre-halves back, so Greece realise that. Push up further. Here is Palmer, and he pings it into the feet of Bellingham, who twists and turns. That's a great bit of play from Palmer out. Sorry, from Bellingham out to Lewis. Here is Gordon. Play from Palmer out. From Bellingham out to Lewis. Here is Gordon. play from Palmer out. Sorry, from Bellingham out to Lewis. Here is Gordon. Gordon's got options. Twists inside, lays it back off. Here is Bellingham, shooting opportunity. Twists, goes around into his right foot, runs out of wriggle room. Had to get rid of that ball earlier, Bellingham, as Greece can come away with it. But Greece sort of playing in the same pattern they did in the first half, Rob, falling asleep at the back when a simple clearance was on.
Yeah, I thought Alexander-Arnold had run too far anyway. The back heel didn't work. He must have ran about 20 yards, including 10 off the field. But Greece took so long to make up the mind. That's a good-looking ball from Palmer to set Saka away. His cross blocked. Did it come back off Saka? I think it did. It's actually going to be a goal kick. So credit to Alexander-Arnold in the end. Obviously, Bellingham just had an attack there. Maybe held on to it a little bit too long. But England have started the second half quite positively. Greece, I just wonder if they've thought, we missed our chance, let's not give anything away. And they might not be as attacking in the second half. I don't know. Obviously, the second half hasn't quite settled down yet. But of course, England struggled in the first half against Malta to a degree, Finland to a degree, and then won 2-0. Could easily be a similar kind of story, particularly as I thought they grew into the game and took control. The longer that first half went on, Greece's attacks became very sporadic, and I thought England were the better side in the second half of the first period. The first half could have been anybody's, and we might have had 2 or 3 goals, but here you go. Greece, now I've said that.
Yeah, over the top, down the right hand side. The attack out towards Mazuris. He will try and play it inside, but Colwell, who's arguably been England's best defender, gets in the way, and he concedes a throw. Which Greece first were in no rush to take. Now they put Venom behind the pass down towards Rata. He goes forward, attacks, pokes the ball away from right. He's on the way towards goal. Here Rata goes for goal, blocked by Stone. That was a chance for Greece, still not fully over. Colwell with a rushed clearance. He gets it away only as far as Greece in midfield. They come on the attack. Saka with the card. Dive in. Greece coming on the attack. Here's Pavlidis going for goal. He twists inside. He goes for goal and scores. And England are trailing.
Panic at the back when the Flair players are there defending. I mean, Cole Palmer had an air shot in the box, and I actually think the back to Rico Lewis it because it went past the Greek play. Could have easily been intercepted. I mean, obviously that's not where he's used to be playing. It's very risky to say the least. Ashley Gordon trying to go down the left. Support needs to come. Come quick.
Yeah, Gordon gets away and goes away from trouble, lays it back inside, gets it to Lewis, who could have gone forward, plays it into Foden. Might give England a bit more structure. Certainly Greece now they don't have to put too many bodies back as Madueke gets it from Palmer. 56 minutes gone, Madueke running away from trouble. Plays it back to Palmer. Palmer floats the ball back into Foden. Foden looking for a way through, plays it to Lewis. Lewis still looking for a way through. It back to Palmer. Palmer could have played it forward, does now into Foden. Lewis still England, nobody shoots. It's trying to walk it in the back of the net. Got to try and pull the trigger, England. And as Rice gets forward, Colwell punts it into the air. It nearly reaches Madueke. It will in fact reach Madueke. He's now running. forward into the goal. He's going to go for goal, blocked by Giannoulis. It's deflected all the way to the far side for Gordon. And the Newcastle man keeps it alive. 56.5 minutes gone. England 0, Greece 1. Gordon, instead of going to the bar line, cuts inside. Back to Lewis. Rice asking for it. Referee moves out of the way as the Arsenal man looks across the midfield. He's lost his attacking teammate in Bukayo Saka. Alexander-Arnold. Back to Rice. Rice drops the shoulder, goes the other way to Madueke. Bellingham drops the shoulder to try and get a bit of space. England with a false 9 are passing Greece into submission only to the edge of the box. Once it gets there, Greece are getting back on top and getting bodies in place. They're doing well here, the visiting team, to defend. As a unit and not commit, as England go from right to left. Colwell to Lewis. Space again for England, trying to suffocate Greece as they forward. The ball play. Look, Greece hold firm. As I say, it's very hard for Greece to handle things, but when it gets near the box, everything just seems to be under control. England 0, Greece 1.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, there was a couple of instances in the first half where I thought Bellingham was actually making good runs. Admittedly, he was struggling to get the support, but he was making good runs. He was turning the Greek defence. I mean, Greece weren't hanging on, that's exaggerating, but they looked more threatening. That was quite static, and he dropped a little bit, didn't he, Bellingham, to try and play the provider, and of course nobody's really making the runs. And then if you look at the forward players anyway, if it's going to be a cross into the box, if they're not making a run, it's going to be a cross. And Foden's tiny, Ashley Gordon is not the most physical biggest physical threat in the air, and there isn't an option, it seems. I mean, it just sounds like I'm being a bit one-dimensional, but there's got to be an end to the product. Anthony Gordon, I beg his pardon. There's got to be an end product, and like you said, they were passing it around, and Greece was stood firm. That nobody got turned. I think Palmer's starting to get a bit more involved because he's dropping a little bit deeper. It just hasn't worked as yet, despite decent possession stats, particularly in the second half. I reckon they've outpossessed Greece comfortably, but of course Greece are leading.
Yeah, they took the chance, although it was pretty much gifted to the one on plate. Although Watkins, by the way, he's stripped, ready to go for England. He's making his way in towards the advertisement hoardings at Wembley. Of course, they're behind the bench as the forward ball is coming in. There's a chance here for Greece. There's looked to be an offside flag as Pavlidis plays it across goal, and Greece will be denied by the flag. Pavlidis into Mazouras. Looked to be way off, did the number 14 who teed it up for his teammate. The England officials will be delighted with that, but he looked to be at least a foot offside before he was receiving possession. He's decisive when he does. England with Lewis didn't know that the defender had cut back. He wasn't aware of that. Pickford was well beaten. All about quick fire counter attack for Greece. Anthony Gordon to play, and Ollie Watkins will come on for him. And naturally, you may say Foden or Madueke to the flanks. Bellingham plays as a 10 or Palmer, and Watkins is trying to architect where everyone's going. He's pointing around the park. I mean, he's pointing from somebody. I mean, Madueke was the first man on the right-hand side, and he seemed to be pointing to that wing, but it could be him or Foden. But we've got to recognise striker up.
Well, they've got to do something. I mean, the first half, okay, is a bit harem-scarum at times, but you wouldn't say Gordon, Foden, Palmer, Bellingham have necessarily stamped their mark on this game. Something had to give. Of course, Saka didn't have a great game either. Got a booking. Now has picked up an injury. He's gone off. So they've struggled. Greece have just given the ball away again.
Yeah. Chance here for England towards Palmer, in towards Ollie Watkins. Has to wait for goal. He's put too much on it. A chip shot more than anything else for Watkins. He thrashed his foot through the ball instantly. He didn't take a touch. He let it run. It wasn't perfect in front of him, so he had to just wait a second. There was a potential cutback for Phil Foden, but the centre forward, they're always going to go for there. Once he saw it coming into his path, Ollie Watkins, he smashed it towards goal, but he's put too much on it. Too much loss. It's still 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, players can often stand it without playing. Everybody's going to be thinking Harry Kane had buried that. Now, England have had two great chances. Palmer, well, three great chances. Gordon, Palmer and Watkins, and not one of them has hit the target. And of course, I was calling for a striker, a finisher, and of course, he's missed the target as well. I don't think that was as easy as a chance, as good a chance as the Palmer one, because Palmer was running onto it on his favoured left foot. Watkins had to kind of let it run, and then he shooting in down the same sort of momentum path as the ball. Never quite easy. It's almost a toe poke as much as anything else. But if you don't hit the target, you're not going to score. And that's three good chances. England haven't hit the target. And Harry Kane, if anybody was doubting his ability to be the striker in England, because obviously he's getting on a bit these days, it's those three chances that we're all thinking Harry Kane would have buried two of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and seen a few comments as well suggesting that, of course, under Southgate there was a structure. Vladimiros has gone to ground here. By the way, we needed a bit of treatment. He's going to be able to continue, but yeah, real frustration that for Ollie Watkins. But it's a sight of goal. It's again another example of how Greece out of the back are just not that good. They have given the ball away. They've played England in, and if England could just get that composure, they could easily be level, and they have a good half an hour to draw. As it is England 0, Greece 1, 62 and a half minutes gone. Header forward from Greece, Pavlidis. A free kick given against the Azuris on Lewis. Didn't seem to be that much in it. The line before deciding that's what he wanted to give, and just as I say, England have got plus points playing with an aggressive press. Greece have done the same all night, really, apart from a 10-minute spell in the first half, and they took a breather and they've dispossessed Lewis, and now Greece come forward. Mazouras to the byline he goes, tries to float the ball in. Pickford comes forward, and it's an easy catch for Jordan Pickford, who wanted to roll it into Rice, decides against it and plays it sideways, and I mean Pickford apart. Just didn't 100% feel like he had to go for broke, because here is Lewis. He's got Madueke hugging the touchline in front of him. He plays in the Chelsea man. Foden's the number 10. Watkins is at Alma's gone to right wing, so there's more of an identity by Madueke, though naturally plays right wing for Chelsea, and he's now on the left. It's Colwell plays it into Rice. Rice could have gone to Foden, ignores him, goes out to Palmer. Palmer's run and turning that Palmer towards the byline, gets his shirt pulled just enough to keep him off balance, loses his a little bit, tries to play it backwards into Rice. Lost possession, he's steaming back to try and get it back. Greece under pressure. England turn on the afterburners to try the pressure, but England unable to do so, although they do win it back. Risky turn for Alexander-Arnold. Greece win the ball back for a moment, only give it back to Bellingham. Here's Foden popping up in space. Foden to Palmer. Palmer's got space to drive into if he wants to use it. Rolls it instead to Foden. Foden looking for a way through. Goes backwards out towards Bellingham. There's a lack of width for England here. Madueke's come central. Bellingham's tried to poke it towards him. And they just seem to force things a little bit, Rob. I mean, it's that fine line, isn't it, between there's a lot of people in the previous era wanting to take more risks. Now they are doing that, but there's a real lack of quality as Greece prepare two subs.
Yeah, but I'm not sure they're taking the risks in the right places. I mean, we saw that Zidane turn from Alexander. One defender behind him, and he's tackled. The ball just happened to ricochet. Foden had the ball there, but he's going away from goal to get it onto his left foot. Nobody's gone onto their wrong foot in this game yet, and of course that makes it easier to defend. I'm not convinced they are taking risks. They've got playmakers, it's just not working. Too many players of the same type. Obviously we do have a striker on now who's perhaps going to stay within the width of the post, perhaps. He's arguably not that kind of striker, but at least he's going to be threatening, you know, the last man and things like that. Yeah, just not quite worked. And of course, defensively, they've been quite poor for most of the game. But I don't necessarily have a problem with England's setting up like that. If that's how he wants to play, it's exciting, it's fun to watch. You know, you're going to get goals. You'd hope more England goals. But it's fun to watch at least. But of course, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. He's got that many attackers on, not enough defenders, and it's the lack of defenders that's cost them.
Yeah, Greece have made 2 changes. Pelkas has come on. Mazuras was the one that he replaced. We'll just get the second sub. The second for you as Phil Foden plays the ball out and miscontrols it. Tried to force things a little bit. He took it in his stride, then tried to attack, and as he did so, gave the ball away. Lee Carsley looks on, looking for a way through. It was Pelkas and Zafiris the fray. Siopsis and Zerdus that made way for Greece as Greece get the ball backwards. Oh, England are frustrated because the gave the ball away was Bakastas. Played it backwards, rushed it. Bellingham, he's having an argument again with a Greece player. He does love to wind the opposition up. Does Jude Bellingham, and he's walked himself into trouble with the referee. Yet to show a card, the official, but he's accused Bakastas, who I think he had a bit of a the first half, accused him of diving a bit, and again he makes his feelings clear. Again, Bellingham laughs off. He does have that aura about him as one of the best midfielders in the world. You almost have to, as Greece with 67 minutes on the clock. Go forward, it's into the middle of the midfield. They play it into the path then for Solis. Out wide he goes. It is into Pelkas. He drills it across. Lewis gets the block in. Colwell didn't look convincing. Played out back out towards Bakastas, and he rolls it left to Janulis. He's got up in the box. He doesn't take them. Goes backwards first of all. Played out into the edge of the box. Poked forward. Double deflection nearly helps Greece's cause, and now Palmer gets it. Now into Foden from Bellingham, but Foden's pass to Watkins is so overhit. I don't know what Phil Foden saw there. But even if he thought Watkins was onside, the goalkeeper can catch that. And come out off his line and pick it up. Such was the venom on the pass. Greece play it forward, cut through the missed Rice, missed Palmer out, Janulis inside to Pavlidis, who's held the line well. Takes a sting out of the players. He goes back into Zafiris, back to Pavlidis. He nearly gets caught on the ball. Goes out to left back Janulis. Into again now, and he will roll it out. That was disallowed. The goal scorer in this half, Pavlidis, is leading the line well. As Greece have got a bit of swagger about them before Bellingham stops that and knocks it out of play, and we will be able to hand over to Rob Eddy through to the second end of the second half. So England are trailing. Second half hasn't worked. We may need more subs, Rob.
Yeah, obviously there are options. I'm not quite sure England. And be it Southgate, be it Carsley, have worked out the Phil Foden quandary. I don't think he's had a great game as Greece attack down their right-hand side and just go around his man, Pelkas. He did invite the challenge from Lewis. It almost looked as though he'd left Lewis behind, but Lewis just stuck to his task, sliding in. It's eventually got a touch on. It's behind for a corner. Greece have corner in the first half, ruled out for offside, rightly so. But they do have a threat from set piece. Sure. For a second goal that might well kill this game off, because England are struggling at the other end. This time the corner doesn't beat the man at the near post. It's Jude Bellingham. It's picked up by Zafiris and works it back out to the corner taker, throws it into the mixer, and it's punched away by Pickford. Shot comes in from distance. Got that wrong, or did it? Was it blocked by Palmer? I think it will be a corner. It was ambitious from Janulis, but I think he just wanted to win the set piece. Pickford's coming through a crowd of players. As we know, he's not the tallest, and the word jumper's in front of him, but he clearly had got that better judge than other crosses he's come for, particularly in that first half. It's still a set piece chance. Referee's just having a word with Pavlidis and Ollie Watkins. With those two, and the way they're defending, I guess Watkins more than Pavlidis. Watkins being the defender. Delivery's whipped into the near post. It's another poor delivery. It's Bellingham who heads clear. It's worked back by Giannoulis to the corner take. Pelkas, who's got an opportunity on to his right foot, trying to nutmeg on Cole Palmer. Didn't quite work, and a combination of Palmer, Bellingham bring it clear. And then Bellingham, I think he's taken out before the ball was touched. Yeah, it's yellow card. Corbella sliding in. Bellingham's protecting the ball. And I don't think Corbella's touched it. He's got a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a good call from the ref. You have a right to go for it. It's, Bellingham's just too crafty, gets his body in the way first. It's going to hurt, but again, Bellingham seems to be relishing this battle. He's trying to, G-upping them with his words and get them riled up that way. But someone in that midfield needs to take control. Declan Rice looks like he's been a bit outnumbered tonight. Not criticising him as a player in general. Needs a bit more help, and the fact he's anchored the midfield and nobody else in front of him. I think you were quite right earlier to say maybe put Bellingham in the middle alongside him, or at least a bit deeper. But
well, I'm a big fan of Bellingham, and if you want one of those those other 5 players in the midfield that wasn't right, the only midfielder in a similar kind of vein is Bellingham, and he can do everything, whereas the other 4 don't really want to tackle, as we've seen. Ball over the top. Watkins is fighting for the ball. No, Bellingham takes it, throw it. Scoops it towards. I think Laurie sort of lighting up in his head. It's not quite full-blooded volley. He's just, I think he's gone for an up and under to get the keeper off his line. He's not quite connected with it right, and he's gone wide of the post. It's behind for a goal kick, and we're going to see a change. And Phil Foden is going off. Dominic Solanke is coming on. So we've gone from no strikers.
Not top.
A 4-4-2.
No, not. I mean, it's the right move. I think Foden's been very poor tonight, I must admit. He was very poor in the Euros as well, and I think he struggled He's struggling with his identity at the minute in this team, is Phil Foden. But now, two up top, bit of a bit more of a hold in the run. It's a big opportunity this for both of them to go out there and impress and say, well, if you need a front two, we can do it. So fingers crossed for England, it can work for them. But for Greece, 20 odd minutes to I want to say hang in there. They're not under heaps of pressure.
Yeah, Vlachodimos has not really made a save. England have had 3 good chances, 2 in the first half, 1 in the second. Not one of them's hit the target. Bellingham effort, I think he was going for the sort of lobbed volley over the keeper, but with the outside of his boot rather than the inside, and got it wrong. I guess that's another effort that's off target, not quite as clear cut as other opportunities, as Lewis just gets there ahead. And he might just have been caught. 2 players. Pavlidis another. He's got up clutching his face. I think he's just trying to win a free kick on the halfway line. The referee, Andrea, not interested in that first chance. And it's going to be a Greece change now. Corbelis picked up a yellow card. That was the last thing he did. And he's going to make way. I think it's Mantalos who's coming on in his place. But, yeah, Greece, unfashionable, really. England not exactly sparkling in 2-0 victories to start this Nations League campaign, but they were comfortable enough. And although Greece were above England on difference, I think most people were expecting a similar England performance, win without breaking a sweat. Not been the case. It has, of course, been attack from Lee Cardi. It's only his 3rd game, but he's gone quite attacking to start with. Took a while to settle down. Had many opportunities in this second half, but they've scored one. And they've defended it pretty well in the subsequent time. The goal came 4 minutes after the restart. So it's been a fair old while, and Vlachodimos, as I say, hasn't really made a save, as Madueke on the left. Jinks inside, but then goes back round the outside. Works a 1-2 with Lewis. He's into the box. He's just struggling to keep the ball under control, under pressure. Eventually, smashed it down. It's smashed downfield by Mavropanos. And Pickford is way outside his area to try and keep it alive. Bellingham to Colwill on the halfway line. Bellingham an option, but of course up top now. Solanke and Watkins as Madueke. He goes round the outside of his man. Does well to win a corner because he's running out of space. Then he's got a corner kick. I think it's a 7th corner for England compared to 4 for Greece. And England trying to turn the screw, but huffing and puffing it. With 15 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Trailing by that Pavlidis goal, which, as I mentioned moments ago, in the 49th minute, 4 minutes after half-time. And a corner kick, which Trent Alexander-Arnold has gone across to take. It's another one on the England left, so it's going to be an in-swinger towards that near post. It's just above Rice, headed to the edge of the box. Cushion headed down from Pelkas. They're trying to counter it in positive fashion. Rice can't make a challenge. He's on a yellow card. He's the wrong side. Here they come forward. Slip through. And there's an opportunity. Solis, the flag stayed down. He's dinked the keeper. He's wide of the target. But offside was probably the call anyway. Yeah, the flag has gone up. Lovely break from defending a corner by Greece, and England caught short. If you're Greece, you'd be loving to see that back two of England. Cole Palmer's one of them.
Cole Palmer and Rico Lewis, yeah, I mean, madness, really. But, yeah, I mean, Rice did what he could to slow them down. He did well to not actually concede a free kick, but yeah, Greece have messed up here. Paul back pass. Again, Greece have been so bad at the back at playing football. Everything else going forward, they've been great. They've defended well, but in terms of actually passing a football between themselves, between defender to defender, amateur stuff. England have got 15 minutes to punish them.
Yeah, one effort on goal. I don't really remember it from England. Out of 10 goal attempts, they've had 62% possession to 38. This is an 8th corner, might be a 9th corner actually compared to 4. They're trailing by a goal to 0 at Wembley. Deep delivery, it's over Bellingham. Stones keeps it alive, as does Bellingham at the 2nd attempt. Eventually it's headed towards the box. Rice beaten in the air, but tracking back there, Solanke. Now there's an opportunity. Bellingham, Alexander-Arnold on the left edge of the Greece box, onto his right foot, digs it towards the far post, and it's nobody there. Was he going for goal? I think Alexander-Arnold wants a corner kick, thinking it took a deflection. It's wide of the post, though, and by Alexander-Arnold's reaction, I guess it's given as a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, he did the right thing at first to hold it up, and I think he's seen just the sheer volume of bodies. He just tried to stand it up for them. He's put too much on it. In the end, it's not a good ball, but the idea was right. He is right, though. He should have got a corner kick, which could in turn have meant the ball would have been better. There was a slight deflection, so we would never have known where that ball was going to end up.
Solanke might... Well, he put a challenge on a Greek defender, Koliarakis, who went down rather theatrically. The referee waved play on. I don't know whether he thought there wasn't a foul or the fact that Greece still had possession, but either way, it's in Greece possession now as they thread it through. And I think Solis is onside this time. Stones is recovering, as is Alexander-Arnold. An arm of Stones did touch a shoulder of Solis, but he couldn't wait to hit the ground. That doesn't mean referees won't give those. Perhaps a little bit fatigued and was trying to get the free kick. I can't see how that would be a foul.
No, I can't. I mean, I think the referees let things go quite well tonight overall. You know, he's intervened when he had to. England come again here.
Yes, with Watkins left edge of the box. Madueke went through the middle, but the pass isn't on, and it's had to come back to Rice. Now to Rico Lewis is actually the right channel with Alexander-Arnold on the left. Change of setup for England. Alexander-Arnold stands it up towards the far post. Oh, and it's arrived. There's an absolute melee in the 6-yard box. I think Watkins had a hack at goal. It's blocked away. Foul given when it was eventually cleared by Greece. Foul given against Watkins, but he had a spring header won by Mavropanos. Beat Solanke in the air. There isn't time for Pickford to get it downfield. England have lost. They've been beaten by Greece. All the goals coming in the second half. Pavlidis with both for the visitors, including one in stoppage time. That was after Bellingham had pulled England level with 3 minutes to go, but England couldn't force a winner. They couldn't hang on even. It's finished. England 1, Greece 2.
England conceded, he goes to clear it and gets a nudge in the back. And looking at the replay,
that's the penalty that penalty claim that England just had moments ago, isn't it?
So, do you think that's a shout?
I know some refs might have given it. Time for Pickford to get it downfield. England have lost. They've been beaten by Greece. All the goals coming in the second half. Pavlidis with both for the visitors, including one in stoppage time. That was after Bellingham had pulled England level with 3 minutes to go, but England couldn't force a winner. They couldn't hang on even. It's finished. England 1, Greece 2.
Very, very emotional evening for them, and still now. Wembley's open, you can see red seats everywhere apart from that blue and white seat over in the far right-hand corner. Still dancing, cheering, and making an occasion of what has been a very, very sad day for all involved, and especially a lot of the England players as well, who will have played against him and with him as well. There's been a really nice tribute paid tonight. But there was so much character in that Greek team, and they're making the most of their occasion, and they're still on the pitch now.
There are actually quite a number of Greek supporters. The bulk of them are in the corner, but there are hundreds of them actually just down in front of us. I see a massive white banner has been raised there. And the point to make, again, as we said before the match, George Baldock played for this Greek team in March when they fell at the final hurdle when they were trying to qualify for the Euros and lost to Georgia on penalties in the playoff final for a place at the Euros in Germany this summer. So there is such a close connection between so many of these players with that young man who lost his life last night.
And all of that is far more important than the football, Paul. Of course it is. But it is worth saying, I mean, yeah, they scored a very, very late winner there, but Greece were by far the better team, weren't they?
England could have scored a late winner and still be having the same conversations. It was a really disappointing performance tonight. We all got excited when we saw the players on the pitch and the starting lineup, and it just didn't work, did it? When you asked me at half-time, you said, what's it like? He just disjointed. It was clunky. It looked exactly like a team that had 2 days to work on a new formation, and on the hour mark, it was almost an admission of defeat that didn't quite work. Let's put Ollie Watkins on. And then it was, that hasn't quite worked, let's put Solanke on. And in the end, Steve, England ended up playing a 4-4-2. We talk about all this formation and the interchange and everything. It was a 4-4-2 with Madueke on the left and Cole Palmer on the right-hand side.
But, this is what we said on the day the squad was announced, whatever it was, 2.5 weeks ago, with Bellingham and Palmer and Foden all included in this squad. And Lee Carsley didn't have them last month because of illness and injury, and everything was extremely satisfactory from those two matches. But there was that clamour, and on the day the squad was announced, that was the point that we made when we spoke, was that the main point of interest here was, what was he going to do? How was he going to accommodate them? And it was a bold move tonight to do what he did and find a place for them all, but
that's about finding the balance, isn't it? That's exactly what he's done. Exactly what we all sat in the summer, or in the beer gardens, on our tellies, in the lounges, wherever we were, screaming at the telly. Saka should be playing, Foden should be playing, Bellingham should be playing. Why isn't Anthony Gordon getting on? Why isn't Cole Palmer getting more minutes? And he's done exactly what we all thought. He went, put them all on the pitch tonight, and it's just not worked.
And I was listening to Paul in the first half. I think it was that you said it for the first time. And that struck a chord with me from the phrase that was used so often during the summer, Bellingham and Foden in the same area.
They were, weren't they? They spent a lot of the time on the pitch, whether it be the first half or second half. They were both occupying each other's space, and I think they nullified the effect. OK, Jude Bellingham got his goal, his first of the season, but actually they both started as a false nine. That didn't quite work. So when he brought the strikers on, he dropped them both deeper to a number 8, if you like, and they were both in the same position. It's almost like, right, we've got two of the best players here, the best player in the Liga, the best player in the Premier League last year. They play in the same position. Let's play them in the same position as a false nine, as a number 8. They're occupying the same position. They're in each other's space, and it just didn't. They were so narrow tonight, Steve. Said it so many times in commentary. When they're in position, they turn over a ball, they get it. Cole Palmer's on the right hand side, Madueke's on the left. They're on the touchline, but within 2 or 3 passes or interchanges of play, everybody's in the width of the 18-yard box. It's so easy to defend against.
The point to make as well is that he was acclaimed and hailed for what he did with the under-21s when players during the course of that run at that tournament, when they didn't concede a single goal, quite a number of players were played in unusual positions or out of position or not their normal positions, and it feels like we've had that thrown at us tonight. And I think that it's a key point that Paul makes. This is a Thursday night game, which is quite unusual. I can't remember the last time England were playing on the first night of European matches. So they did only have those 2. So he's asked a lot of them tonight, and they've had a very limited time to prepare for it.
We'll come back to England in a moment. Jonathan Northcross is going to join us very, very shortly. But Kostas Lianos, Greek football journalist, is with us live from Greece. Kostas, we've just been saying such difficult circumstances for all of these Greek players after the tragic death of George Baldock. In that scenario, this performance, their first ever win at Wembley Stadium, there must be all kinds of emotions for Greek football fans right now.
This was an outburst from the players. This was the players leaving their soul on the pitch. All of it, every single bit of it. was for George Baldock and his family. This is a very tight-knit group that has been together since at least 2021. George